Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike. Nice.
Welcome, everybody. This is the great thing about going live, man. We just have a great time. And we we were preparing for our sci-fi show, and we did the wrong intro.
No, we didn't. I did. Here, let's make this official real quick.
Okay, we'll make it official. Hey, everybody.
So who talks first? You talk first. I talk first.
There we go.
Welcome, everybody, to the Two Geeks and a Microphone show. This is our regular show, not our special sci-fi show we do for our Ko-fi supporters.
Wow.
I'm giggled. I am so giggled. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the Two Geeks and a Microphone. I am your co-host, Mr. Steven Boster, along with the one, the only Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to everybody in Geekdom Land. And I will quote George Lucas in that. We'll fix it in post. And I will too. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
It's going to be one of those days, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's okay, by golly, because we're just having a great time. That's what we're here for, everybody, just to enjoy talking all things geekdom. And I am excited to be here with you today. Now, as many of you realize and remember that last week we had our first recorded live show.
Yeah.
I was gone for the weekend, and
slacker.
I know I am a slacker, by golly. And so we actually tested. We wanted to use it as an opportunity to kind of test something, that we can have a pre-recorded show and then go live with it, kind of a thing. And so that's what we did. Thanks for joining us. It was great to have you with us. And so with that being said, today we are live. This is not pre-recorded, as you can tell from our opening.
Now, if you are listening to this in the future on the recorded episode, I will have the correct intro on that, on the audio side of it.
Right.
So you might be going, what are they talking about? Well, we
yes.
played the wrong intro for our live.
Yeah, so for those who are experiencing the post-production podcast that goes audio next Friday, we're laughing that we played our sci-fi intro by accident. So
right. That's all me.
That's got me giggled. Well, the thing is I love it because we're just having a great time here around the virtual coffee table. We are so glad that you are here with us, everybody. And oh my goodness, Mike, what are we talking about today?
Well, first we should talk some news because there was some pretty.
Then we're doing
big
our
news.
Geekdar, and then we're doing our topic. So yeah, go ahead, go for it. So what are you talking about in the news?
There was some big DC news that dropped this week. So,
right.
Yeah. So, we've talked in the past that how Warner Brothers Communications has been bought out. They're bought out by Discovery. So we're going to get the combining of Discovery and HBO Max. That's coming up.
Right. I'm excited because there's some pretty cool documentaries on Discovery Plus, by the way.
Yeah, it's called Shark Week. It was on 2 weeks ago, and I watched the whole thing. It was great. Shark Week is awesome, by the way.
Shark Week. Wow.
But that's not really the big news for us. The big news is all the DC news that they had.
Yeah, okay. I only know a couple of things. Shoot, I'm all ears.
Well, they had their investors call this week, and the CEO dropped some pretty big announcements. Number one, they have canceled the Batgirl movie. It is gone. They spent $90 million on that thing. They were getting ready to go into post-production, and I don't even know what the name of the company is now, because it's not Time Warner, or I don't know. Anyway, whatever they're called, they said, nope, cut it. We don't want it on. We don't want it sent out to theaters. We don't want it on
because
streaming.
they did some testing, test audience stuff, right?
They did test audience stuff at screenings, and apparently the reviews didn't come back great, and they were concerned that it would hurt the brand. So they decided to chop it. Oh. Yes. That's not the only thing they chopped, though. They
that's a $90 million
yes
mistake.
Well, yes, it is.
If it came out that bad. But I mean, they even spent how much for Justice League? How much was spent for Justice League?
Oh, who knows? Because technically, you filled two films for that.
Well, that's true.
So I don't know how much was spent on Justice League. A lot, a whole lot. But the thing is, I don't look at this as a bad thing, because there's a lot of fans out there like, oh, I wanted to see the Batgirl movie, blah blah blah. Okay, I get it. I wanted to see Michael Keaton too. Let's face it, he's my favorite Batman. He is. I am Batman. I'm Batman. Anyway. I wanted to see him, but if it means they think that it's going to harm the brand, I think the overall brand is more important. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, I think they may have made the right choice. I don't know. I didn't see the film. I can't say whether it's good or bad. Mm-hmm. But I'm with some of the other decisions, it sounds like they're making. If they stick with their plans, I think they might be on track finally. We might get some traction. Okay. So anyway, they canceled Batgirl. Rumor has they've canceled Supergirl too. Supergirl. That one's been axed. However, Shazam, Black Adam, and we got confirmation The Flash is all still happening. Oh, and okay. Aquaman 2. But however, there's been a change to Aquaman 2. They're actually going to have an appearance by Ben Affleck Batman in Aquaman 2.
Ooh, Ben Affleck Batman.
Right
on.
Now, originally, it was supposed to be Bruce Wayne Batman. Bruce Wayne Batman.
Bruce Wayne Batman.
Michael Keaton
what?
Batman.
Oh, yeah.
It was originally supposed to be the Michael Keaton Batman. But since they've gotten rid of the Batgirl movie and they're supposedly gotten rid of the Supergirl movie, they decided they needed to change that appearance to Ben Affleck instead. So I'm looking at that as a positive, because to me that says they're willing to go forward with the Ben Affleck Batman. I think that's a positive. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But
I wonder if we get the Terminator. The Slade Wilson.
Deathstroke?
Deathstroke. I said Deathstroke the Terminator.
Yeah, right. Well, okay, for those who don't know, Deathstroke's original title was Deathstroke the Terminator. They pretty much dropped the Terminator from it. They just call him Deathstroke now.
You can't use Terminator.
Well, I don't think they dropped it because of that necessarily, right. But I mean, that could play into it a little bit. But anyway, the CEO in the phone call, and yes, I did hear part of the phone call because somebody recorded it and put it on a video. So I did get to hear part of that. And he did state that they now have a 10-year plan for DC, and they are going to focus on quality, not quantity. And to me, that's important. That's a big plus. That he said we are going to follow the plan that Marvel has followed. And I'm like, hallelujah.
Right.
Marvel already set a plan in place. Copy it. Who cares if you're copying from them? Just copy it. Do it. That's, as the Emperor would say, do it. Do it now.
Do it.
So, I look at these as positive changes. I think hopefully good things are to come for DC. I'm looking forward to the Black Adam movie. I think it looks fantastic. I think the Shazam movie looks fantastic. Flash, I'm a little concerned. And that was the one I was mostly anticipating, but he said that Black Adam, Shazam 2, The Flash, and I think he said Aquaman 2. All 4 of those are still released, scheduled to be released. So I think those are all positives. Those are all good things. So
I like that. Do you think they'll have any inclination if our good old friend from Superman, what's his name? I can't think of his name all of a sudden. Superman. Who played Superman?
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, you think he's coming back?
I'm still hopeful for that. Angie says it looks like the merger is going to be called Zaz. I can't say that.
Zaslav and Company?
Zaslav and Company. Interesting.
That seems weird.
Zaslav.
You talking about the merger? Are you talking about the merger between Discovery and Warner?
Yes.
Nah, they won't call it that because you can't. You're losing your brand. You're losing your Warner brand.
That's
and
true.
Your Discovery brand.
That's true.
I thought it was going to be called Warner Discovery or Discovery Warner or something. Oh, that's what they're.
Oh, that's what they're calling it.
Zaslav. That's what they're calling it right now in the article. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. All right.
That makes sense because he's making the decisions.
Right. Well, okay. With Ben Affleck. With Batfleck appearing in Aquaman 2, I think that still gives us hope for Henry Cavill Superman. Because obviously we're getting, obviously Jason Momoa is still Aquaman. I hardly think that they're going to get rid of Gal Gadot. I hardly think they would get rid of her as Wonder Woman. So, I mean, if you're keeping those 3 core ones there, I would hope you're going to keep Henry Cavill too. I don't know. I can't see any reason why they would get rid of him, but who knows? They make strange decisions throughout all this, so we'll see what happens. But I think overall the DC news is positive, and I'm looking forward to what's to come. So, that's what I got in the news.
Right on. I love it. I missed some of that. So I knew about the whole thing about the Batgirl movie getting canned, but I didn't know some of that behind that. So I appreciate you filling me in on the details on that. Interesting.
Well, you've had a busy week, so yeah.
I've had a busy week, but that's okay. It's my birthday week, everybody.
Yes, happy birthday to Steven.
Yeah, thank you. I'm pretty excited because my brother got me a sushi making kit. So tonight am going to start learning how to make sushi. Look, sushi's preparation method. There's some stuff that's going to be cooked that I'm making sushi-wise. It's not all,
gross.
What's the word? Non-cooked, raw fish. I love it. I love sushi. I'm just looking to save probably about $1 million a year in how much sushi I eat. So, because it's expensive out there. I'm just kidding. I don't spend that much money, everybody, on sushi.
Welcome to Two Geeks and a Microphone Sushi Talk.
You're right. All right. What's on your Geekdar?
Let me ask you this. Do you have something on your Geekdar this week?
I have one thing.
Okay. All right. Let me make it official.
Okay. Let's do it.
Well, you don't need that, Private. We're right here. Now, what is it? Now, what is it?
I'm having trouble with the radar, sir.
What's wrong with it?
I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps.
The what? The what? And the what?
You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
That's not all he's lost.
You could almost hear Michael Winslow start cracking up.
I know.
Point that out too.
And after I recorded it, that was the first time I ever noticed that he almost loses it.
Right there in the middle of it.
That's so funny.
So hey, I watched on Netflix The Gray Man.
Oh, okay.
And what intrigued me about it was the cast: Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans, just incredible cast they have in there. But also that it was directed by the Russo brothers, and the Russo brothers are the ones who did Infinity. Well, some of the Captain Americas, Infinity War, the last one, Endgame. And I thought, and the trailer looked, whoa, that looks action packed, kind of a thing.
Nice.
So I love spy movies, and so I went in thinking, okay, I'll probably like this. Let me tell you, I loved it. I really enjoyed it. So the story is, real quick, everybody, is that you've got this assassin, really is what he is, and who works for the government, not CIA, because there's a fight between the CIA and this guy, kind of a thing, if that makes sense. So there's bad shenanigans going behind the scenes in the government. He uncovers the plot, and then all kinds of stuff ensues. Now, my one gripe about this movie is Chris Evans is over the top. He's funny, but he's playing his I think he's really playing his character I was meant to be. So Chris Evans is kind of the villain, but they're able to do some quips. Ryan Gosling's always playing like the straight man, the quiet type kind of a thing. I think that's what he plays a lot.
So actually. Is this a movie or a series?
It is a movie.
Okay.
And I'm glad if they, me and about some of these series nowadays and stuff. Angie, what did you think about it? I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Hello.
Hey.
So first I have to preface this with, obviously I seen it because of the people that were playing in it. So let's just put it that way.
Okay.
But yeah, it was actually a lot better than I thought. Cause I was like, okay, I'm seeing this because of Chris Evans and Ryan
Gosling.
Yeah. Thank you. And I was like, but I figured it was going to be really dumb and whatever, like a ripoff of like 007 meets, that kind of stuff.
007, Jason Bourne.
Yes. Yeah. So I thought it was going to be like really dumb. And just
you're hurting Steven because Steven loves spy movies and stuff.
No, I do too. But like, I felt like it was going to be one of those where it was very like we're just going to rip off all the.
Okay, yeah, I get you.
Whatever.
I get.
And fair enough, it kind of does.
Yeah, but not in the like tongue-in-cheek type. Well.
Yeah. Chris Evans is all tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah. So besides his role, because his role was just all kinds of special.
All kinds of
honestly,
well
it was really, really good. It was really, really good. The only spoiler I will give is one line that I thought was hilarious in the thing. Whenever Ryan looks at him and he was like, "Your douchey stash" or something like that, and I was like,
"Yeah,
that's very stash. Spot on." That explains his character to a T.
Sure does. Yeah,
but it was really good. It's worth a watch. Like
it was more enjoyable than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Because it was on Netflix, I kind of went with low expectations, but I thought, Russo brothers, Chris Evans, Ryan Gosling, Kristen Wiig, or not Kristen Wiig. What was her name? She was in the Matrix movie, and she was also in
The Gray Man?
Iron Fist, the girl in Iron Fist.
Yeah, I can't think of her name. But yeah, they had they had a lot of big names.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh wow!
Oh my god. Don't even get me started on him.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, we won't take much more time. But
okay.
Anyways,
yeah, thanks, Angie.
Wow.
So that's what's on my Geek Dar. I really enjoy. I'll probably watch it again just because.
Awesome.
I was like, that was fun. If you don't take the movie seriously, it is action packed. Really. If you just want a pure action, espionage action kind of a thing, it's really fun. There's more action in it than a Mission Impossible movie, in my opinion.
Nice.
So yeah.
Well, I'll be honest. I really don't have anything on my Geek Dar this week, so I was a slacker.
That's because you spent all your time doing Shark Week on Discovery. That's what that is.
I have watched. So yeah, I guess if anything was on my Geek Dart, it was Shark Week. Yeah, because I overloaded on sharks. That's for sure. I love Shark Week. Shark Week is amazing.
Shark.
Although I'll admit, Air Jaws was slightly disappointing this year. There wasn't quite the gravitas because they really didn't get a shark over, I think, 13 foot for Air Jaws, and Air Jaws is normally my favorite Shark Week episode. Because Air Jaws is when they go to Seal Island, and Seal Island is where the sharks actually breach the water. Yeah, I know I'm getting super sharky nerdy here, but that's where they breach the water and eat the seals and stuff like that, and I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that so much.
Right.
Brenda hates it because she's like, he eats the seals. That's sad. Yeah. Well, you know what? It's survival of the fittest, and they are the most dominant predator on the planet. So
it's the circle of life.
Yeah, it's circle of life. All right.
Let's see how many Disney movie references I can do here today.
So, yeah, I guess Shark Week is my Geek Dart.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So, everybody, today we're 20 minutes in. So let's get to our topic. So, big topic today is dun 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 DCeased. We are doing part 2 of our 2-part series on DCeased, the comic book series. Mike got me plugged into this series. And the first series, the main series, let me say this. The main series is fantastic.
Oh.
And then they did offshoots of series that happen kind of within it. And then I realized that World's End that we're going to talk about today, that takes place 5 years later. So I have really enjoyed this series. Much more better than I thought I would. So, drink. Hey, everybody. Much more better.
Much more better.
Hey, cheers. Cheers, everybody. Good morning.
Dang, I'm really not paying attention. I didn't even catch you say it.
That's all right.
So we are covering World's End, and we're also doing Dead Planet, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
And let me tell you something. I loved Dead Planet.
Oh.
Love Dead Planet. I have to say now. Everybody, our last episode, or our first episode in DCeased, which we did 2 weeks ago. Which one's that? Yeah, Hope at World's End. We're talking about Hope at World's End. Mike is holding up the blighted Shazam, Black Adam. Excuse me, Black Adam. Which that scared me to death. And then we're talking Dead Planet. Nice. Yep. I love that cover. That cover is actually taken from 5, because that was my favorite one out of the whole that series.
And that's the Super Sons.
It's the Super Sons.
Yep.
Damian Wayne and Jonathan
Kent. Yes.
Kent. Yeah. It was great. I love their camaraderie. We'll get into that. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm like, I'm so excited.
They had great cover art for these. Fantastic. Just beautiful. I mean, if you are a fan of comic book art, this is a beautiful covers.
Yes.
Very, very good.
So just in case you guys haven't seen it or you didn't catch our first episode, everybody, the concept behind DCeased was a really cool kind of Elseworld story, for lack of a better term, to say, hey, let's, how shall I say this? To really do a fun story about zombies sort of and killing everybody, or what would happen with heroes if they became heroes and villains if they became thing. Yeah, Angie goes, of multiverse?
Actually, I don't believe this is part of I don't think it's part of the multiverse. I
didn't take it as such.
The way I read it, it was closer to Elseworlds than it was multiverse, because
or a what if. A what if, I think.
Well,
maybe.
That's what basically Elseworlds is. It's a what if.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It's
well
just
played, Angie. She just wanted to harass me. Yeah, well played.
Yes, because Steven loves multiverse.
Oh gosh, yeah. I did see just a quick side note. I did see where Marvel was calling it was the Infinity Saga. Now they're calling this phase the Multiverse Saga. I was like,
That's hilarious.
All right. So anyway, so what happens is, Darkseid's always after the life equation. That's on Earth. We get that in Zack Snyder's.
Yes. Yeah. You're right.
Thing, and I thought that's a great connection with that. I did think DCeased actually, because of the role of Cyborg, this was in that story frame, if that makes sense, because of the life equation, and so in order to get it, Darkseid and his goons, do this whole thing of the anti-life equation, and then sure enough, then it creates through screens and through blood, through using screen, a virus, a technovirus, that people become blighted. And I don't want to say zombies, because DCeased takes that in a really interesting, thoughtful way. And so we'll just call it blighted, because that's how they referenced them, the blighted ones. Well, in the series we'll talk about today, that's how they referenced them. So anyway, I thought that was so it sweeps through the whole DC universe and through the whole all of Earth, and how they handle it, how they handle the spread, how they create safe houses, some sanctuaries, that's the term they use, and what happens between series. And I said one of my favorite scenes in the last one, this was the Unkillables, I think, was when Wonder Woman busts in and rips Vandal Savage in half.
Yeah, we talked about that in the part 1.
Yes.
Yep.
I was like, man, that was savage.
That was savage. Yes.
So
pun intended.
Yes, pun intended. So that's the premise, everybody. So there's the main series. So they did that, the DCeased, and then they did some offshoots of things that were happening all at the same time, kind of a thing. So we had the Unkillables, which I really enjoyed that. Then we had Hope at World's End, which was 17 issues. It was a lot.
Yeah, I don't remember.
15 to 17. It was a lot. But it went fast. It really did. It really went fast. I noticed it was about 5 pages. Each comic book was about 5 pages shorter than Dead Planet.
Oh, really? See, I couldn't tell that because I'm reading it in the trade paperback. So it's, well, I mean, it is kind of separated because they do have like the cover art.
Yeah, but I don't expect you to go 1, 2, 3,
right.
4.
I would read through to the next cover art, and then I would pause, and then come back to it later is what I would do. So,
yep.
But yeah.
So Hope at World's End. At first thought, oh my goodness, that many books, couldn't they have broken it up or whatever? But they actually did a nice job, and it went really fast.
Yeah, the story flows very well, actually.
It does flow very well.
And I loved Hope at World's End because that's kind of where we see the sanctuaries, like you're talking about, and one of them happens to be Black Adam's, his realm, and he's like, I ain't letting nobody in.
Yeah, it was such an interesting hero/villain dynamic.
Yeah, I'm wondering,
with Black Adam,
is this kind of a preview to what we're going to get in the film? Because in the film, in the trailer, we get that mention of you could be a hero and you could save the world. Or you could be the enemy of the world,
Yeah, and enslave it or something.
Or
like that.
Something like that. So, and I'm like, I don't know where Black Adam falls on. Honestly, I really don't.
Here's another side note, everybody. My opinion on Black Adam is they're going to make him kind of like an anti-hero.
Well, yeah, obviously it's going to be an anti-hero.
Because come on, you got Dwayne Johnson.
Well, and
he's like.
I still love that line when he says, I don't remember who's talking to him, but he says, heroes don't kill people. And he goes, but I do.
Yeah. Right. I don't mess around. Yeah. So I think it's going to be kind of like a Deadpool style character viewpoint, I think, rather than just all villain. All right, so back to DCeased.
Sorry.
So I thought it was interesting. Black Adam was like, "Yeah, you ain't getting in here," and he does almost he does the unthinkable to protect his people,
Right.
And
I mean, I think ultimately, as far as his people goes, Black Adam's heart is in the right place. And I don't know.
Just his methods are questionable.
But then again, see, this is coming from.
But I can't wait to get to Dead Planet.
Okay.
I cannot wait till we get to Dead Planet. So, that theme continues. That I think that's a powerful theme in the whole DC series. Is what are you willing to do to save a life?
Right now that comes from years of watching Walking Dead for me. And I've watched Rick struggle with his group. There have been times where Rick was the same way. We ain't letting nobody in that's not a part of our group, and you can just die tough. We've went through those moments of Rick, and for that matter, anybody who happened to be in the leadership, of their group. And then we've went through moments where they were much more accepting and accepted in all kinds of people, and then gotten into all kinds of trouble because they accepted in so many people. So, there's so many facets to look at when you're in these apocalypse situations, and you got to be careful of who you let in. So there's part of me that goes, yeah, I agree with Black Adam. But then there's part of me that goes, but I know these people are good. Right.
So it's just a great story dynamic. It really is. And I was, how much spoilers? It's been out for several years.
Yeah, it's been out for several years. So, and we already covered the first half, so everyone knows that they're,
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Everybody dies in the end, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. That's not true. So with how should I say it? I thought it was funny that Black Adam, for all of everything that he did, then he says Shazam goes back to his normal human self. Or Black Adam, excuse me. Black Adam says Shazam goes back to his normal human self. Well, let's talk with the people. And the people are all upset. He's like, don't they realize what I did for them? Then he gets blindsided, excuse me. And then he gets scratched, and then he becomes, he becomes, of course, he once he gets scratched, he says Shazam. So it's like, great. Now he's in Black Adam form.
Well, okay. Now, if you're writing this, are you going to have him blighted, as you said, as human form, or are you going to have him blighted as Black Adam? Come on. It's going to be boring if he's just human form, because then he's just a normal zombie.
Right.
But you put him in the Black Adam form, now you have a real threat.
Yeah. And so realistically in that, everybody, it really creates an army of blighted people.
Mm-hmm. He sure does.
It is so intense. I mean, just that whole storyline is like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. So I did enjoy it. I thought that it flowed really well. It really did. I thought the writing was fine. It flowed well. The story was engaging. I kept up with it and stuff. There were some parts I was like, I'll skip 3 seconds ahead. I'm just messing with you, man. He knows I like to do that with movies.
So that just means that you just skipped over panels then.
Correct. No, actually, I skipped over bubbles, word bubbles. This doesn't matter. Give me the action. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, that's kind of funny you say that, because when I was a kid, when I was little and I first started reading comic books, I didn't really understand the way the flow of the comic book.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
And I would skip the block, the block text, the text in the blocks and stuff.
Oh, right, to give you setting.
Right, to give you setting and story and everything. I would just read the
bubbles.
The bubbles, not understanding that I wasn't getting the story.
Right.
That also comes from me as a kid not wanting to read, and I'm not reading all that junk. I don't do that anymore.
That's funny. Yeah. The epicness, the scope, let me rephrase that. The scope of having this huge blighted army led by Black Adam was just phenomenal, and the heroes having to work through that and deal with that, I thought was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Wait a minute. You said phenomenal? So is that like phenomenon? Phenomenon.
Phenomena. That's pretty good. Well played. I love it. That's a Sesame Street reference there.
No, it's well, yeah, I guess it is originally Sesame Street. I get it from the Muppets.
Yeah, the Muppets. We'll stay with the Muppets. Yeah. So, what were your thoughts about this series? Because I'm going to spend more time with Dead Planet because I absolutely adored Dead Planet.
I liked it. I love the whole series. I mean, the whole series is fantastic, and I loved this part with Black Adam and him trying to protect his city, and everything, and then him getting turned was pretty incredible. And he is definitely a force to be reckoned with. It really highlights Black Adam's power and shows you how powerful that character actually is. So if nothing else, read it actually that's kind of a good way to get to know Black Adam before the Black Adam movie, to read this series and get some context on him and who he is and how powerful he is. So, I think this was a fantastic part to the DCeased storyline. Love it. Love it.
Yep. It was really good. I like it a lot. Yeah. Mike, I have to say thank you because I've actually enjoyed reading the comics and stuff. So
I'm glad I turned you on to it.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too. Everybody knows, I'm more into the movies and, that kind of a thing, TV shows and stuff. And I have some comics, but Mike is really the comic book guy. So I was like, you know what? That sounds interesting. Let's do that. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, I am aware that there is a new series that just started, like the last DCeased offshoot or whatever just started. And so I'm looking forward to that one, but I'm gonna have to wait a little bit because it won't hit my DC app until like another 6 months.
Yeah, I don't know when it starts, but they're advertising it now, and I think I think we'll wait for the full thing to come out, and then we'll do the same thing we did with this one. Once the full thing comes out and we can read the story as a whole, then we'll cover that one too. I don't want to do it issue by issue because we'll be doing it forever then.
War of the Undead Gods is what the new series is called.
Right.
And looks like the final chapter begins, and I'm trying to read the dates on it. Everybody's doing articles on it. They came out yesterday. So nice. The articles came out yesterday. So it's one of 8 in a limited series, and I think it must have just popped out. It must have just come out. Release date is August 9th in 3 days. Whoa, who knew we were doing Road to DCeased, War of the Undead Gods.
Nice.
So the first episode comes out in 3 days.
So our timing was pretty good on this. And you can thank my wife for that because she's the one who got me these for Father's Day, and which is what led us up to doing this. And we had no idea that it was coming out. So that's cool.
The cover has Darkseid. Darkseid has returned.
Nice. Sweet.
So this should be interesting. So it's going to be interesting how that plays out, I wonder. All right, so I guess we should talk about what happens in Dead Planet.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you want to give the synopsis, or do you want me to give the synopsis?
You can go ahead and do that.
All right. So
you're a little more fresh with it because you read it.
I am. I read it last night,
right?
Because I spent the week reading. Well, I crunched a time. I just set aside time to read the Hope at World's End, because I was like, I just got to sit down and read it, and I read all those books in one sitting. I read them all in one sitting.
Look at Steven. He's so dedicated to the podcast.
I'm trying.
No,
So
I'm complimenting you, dude.
Yeah, thank you. So Dead Planet, I started last night and I got through 1 through 4. And I was just exhausted. So I was like, well, I'll just get up early. I'm a morning person, everybody, if you haven't figured that out yet.
Wow, you got up early and I slept in this morning.
That's a switch,
yeah,
right?
That's a big switch.
Mike is always up before I am. So
pretty much.
So I read 5, 6, and 7 this morning and absolutely loved it.
Nice.
And I couldn't wait to talk to you about it because I know you're a huge Constantine fan. So let me do the synopsis real quick. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
So the synopsis works this way, everybody. It takes place 5 years after the quote unquote ending of the story in DCeased, the whole DCeased line. So it takes place 5 years later. Damian Wayne has in the series becomes Batman, and so now he's been Batman for 5 years.
Yep.
Everyone's older. Oliver Queen and Black Canary, who's now Green Canary, Green Lantern powers. They are. Did they get married? I think they're married. Then Red Hood and Ravager are married.
Right.
Comes out, which is pretty cool. So I'm giving details. I'm sorry, everybody. I just want to give you a synopsis. So they realize that the head of Cyborg, because he gets ripped apart in two by Wonder Woman, I think is how that happened. And then he sent 5 years, and 5 years of just sitting there. And then all of a sudden he sends a signal. He figures out a subroutine and is able to send out a signal that's Morse code. They find him. There's an adventure of getting him, but he realizes there is a cure within him for the anti-life equation.
Now, I just had to say, so Cyborg's head, which is pretty much a processor, has been sitting there and processing for 5 years to figure out the life equation, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to say this right now. He's got a PC processor in that brain. He should have math. It wouldn't have taken 5 years to process it. And believe me, I understand that. I work with PCs at work, and yeah, it takes forever.
Oh gosh, well played.
Although I think the AMD processors are supposed to be a lot faster now, so maybe they should have just stuck an AMD processor in that head of his. Anyway, sorry.
You couldn't resist.
No, I couldn't. There's no way I was going to pass that up.
Oh, well played. Well played. So ends up they figure out that there is a cure, and then they try to figure out, well, all at the same time, they have this cure. Well, then in Australia is where all the villains are. All the villains are in Australia at a bunker that they created before any of this kind of stuff happened. They had a contingency plan. They're doing all these massive robots to wipe out the world. Then so they have that going on. Then we find out from Etrigan.
I have messed up his name for years. It's Etrigan. Etrigan. That's it. Etrigan.
It's too close to estrogen, and that's what I'm trying not to say.
I have never thought of that until you just said, oh my God, you stuck that in my head.
It's all over now, everybody.
I'm not going to be able to look at the demon the same way now.
All right.
I got to admit, The Demon's one of my favorite DC characters.
And he always talks in rhyme. Every single time.
I love it when Constantine. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Nice, nicely played. Anyway, I love it when Constantine calls him out for it too. He's like, "Can you just drop the stupid rhymes?"
Right. Yep.
And no, he can't. He cannot stop him.
He can't. So we find out from Etrigan. I did it, didn't I? I'm so sorry. Etrigan. We find out from him that so the third issue that's going on is that, lo and behold, what's his name? The big demon guy is coming. Hey, everybody in the chat. Angie says, she goes, sometimes estrogen can be a demon. I am not touching any more of that. I'm not saying anything else.
This is getting ugly.
Did you hear the survey that 9 out of 10 men say that their wives are right? But no one's heard back from the guy, the one guy that said that. No one's heard him since.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so continuing on, what's his name? Trigon is coming.
Yes,
so Trigon is coming to destroy the world. So not only do there's a race against time for the cure, but also a fight against these robots that Penguin and what's his name made.
Right,
and then with Trigon coming.
But now, wait a minute. So there's a twist on the Trigon aspect of this. Because Etrigan, I'm struggling with it. Etrigan comes and tells Constantine, basically, to quote a favorite movie of mine, "Hell is coming, and it's coming for you."
Right.
Basically, he says, hell is ticked off because of the demon or the zombies.
The blight,
this is a heck of a twist. They are pissed because they're not getting any souls.
Yep.
I read that and lost it. I was like, so their plan is we kill everyone.
Right.
Living or dead. You're dead. That is why Trigon is coming. I thought that was a fantastic story. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is great.
The writing in Dead Planet is, in my opinion, the best of the entire series. Now, I don't know if it's the same writers or whatever, and even if it is, they really did a nice job with characterizations, character developments, the angst between different characters, the storyline between different characters, what we've all been thinking about different characters getting together and those kinds of things. And some of the quips, I thought they wrote John Constantine is probably the best John Constantine writing that I've seen. So in the midst of all this, John Constantine is doing all this stuff, and you're seeing John Constantine do the things that no one else will do, and knowing what he has to do to take down Trigon really is what all this is about, and doing stuff that everyone would try to stop him, and then really having to go behind the back of heroes and villains alike. And really the heroes. And I was just like, holy cow. So, the world needs a beep hole. And so that's what he becomes.
I just wanted to state, yes, it is written by the same person. Tom Taylor is the writer for all of the DCeased. Well,
Tom Taylor was on his game for this.
Yeah, he
series.
did. He did fantastic. I really, really liked his writing.
Yeah. Thanks for looking that up.
I got to say, I'll probably have to start looking for him in other comic books and probably picking up some of his stories and stuff like that, because this was just fantastic. Some of DC's best writing, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. And one of the things about it, man, I hope they so make this into an animated film.
Oh,
how
I
can
have
you
mixed
get
feelings
all of
about
in?
that. Right. The story's so big. How do you get it all in, and how do you do it right without destroying the entire story? That's my only fear, because
Right.
they'll have to cut a lot out.
They would.
I agree,
There's
Angie.
no way to
Probably a
cover
mini
everything.
series. Yeah, a mini series would be fantastic of this. That would
This
be
would
great.
be this would be one of those situations I would say I don't want it in a movie. I would want it in a whole series. They can
I
make
agree.
a whole season of all this stuff and weave all of the DCeased novels into one.
Yeah, it's too big to do just a movie of. You're right. This would have to be this would make a fantastic TV series.
It would be great.
So good. The only thing is, some people would be going, "Oh, you're just copying The Walking Dead," but we know from reading it that it's not a copy of The Walking Dead.
It is a mindful effort, yes, to have a quote unquote zombie series,
Right.
But it's different, and I like it. And the biggest thing about I think Dead Planet, and I'm spoiling Dead Planet, and I don't care because it's worth. Everybody, you need to read Dead Planet for sure, but you need everything else. Was that they realized that when they got the cure, they realized, well, one of the things that gets revealed by Cyborg is that they're not living nor are they dead,
Right.
kind of a thing.
Right.
And so it's almost like they've been in this weird stasis, for lack of a better term, for 5 years. Because when they start healing everybody, or they start giving them the serum, the antidote, then all of a sudden they're like, "Where have I been? It's been 5 years."
Right.
You see. Who is
Almost
it?
like the Marvel blip, where
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
when Thanos snaps his fingers and people are gone, and then they come back, and they've just been gone for 5 years.
It is, yeah.
I mean,
'Cause
there's
I
a
remember-
similarity, except for this is even more dangerous because they're not gone; they're
Right.
wreaking havoc and destruction.
You get Pa Kent, who sees Jonathan Kent.
Yes,
And I thought he was dead. So I was like, oops, messed up that storyline. So, but who says, "Man, you've grown," talking about Jonathan Kent.
Right.
You've gotten older. And where we saw Damian Wayne and Jonathan Kent, the Super Sons, younger, in this one, they were Superman
and Batman. Yes, they were.
And
Yes, they
I
were.
loved it. I loved every minute of it. Now, I got to talk about Batman for a minute. Or am I okay to continue on with Batman?
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Man, I'm just talking this up, Mike. I just love this series. I love.
Well, now before you go on,
series.
Constantine plays a huge part in this.
Yes, he does.
In fact, he's pretty much the main hero of this part of the story, and I love that because Constantine is another favorite of mine.
Yeah, we've done reviews of the movies with Constantine and stuff. Yeah,
and he takes on the magical aspect of this and takes on Trigon head on, which is pretty intense.
it's
so good. Love it. So yeah, I just wanted to emphasize the fact that Constantine is a huge part of this portion of the story.
Let's come back to Constantine because he is the main portion. I want to round out our whole discussion about Constantine. But one of the things about Batman that the writers did an incredible job of was, all this comparison between Damian's dad and him. There was constant discussions about, well, that is your father, kind of thing. And I was like, well, that's not your father, kind of a thing.
Yeah. Like he's all of a sudden huggy and lovey.
I loved it.
I hated it.
I loved it.
I hated it.
I loved it.
I hated it.
I thought it was good because
that's not Damian.
His own character.
That's not Damian.
Well, I think you're seeing the repercussions of everything that's happened in the last 5 years. You're seeing how it's changed him as an individual. And
I don't know if it changed him for the better.
Do what?
I don't know if it changed him for the better.
I thought it was great because here's the deal. When Red Hood,
his dad would say, "What the hell's wrong with you?"
Right. Exactly. And everyone's real nervous about telling him, it's all family. and except for Ravager, well, we're married now. And they're real nervous about telling him.
I like the family aspect of it. I really like that, and I loved how when Ravager does tell that they're married, and he's like, as long as you have father issues, you'll be, if you have father issues, you'll fit perfectly in this family. And she's like, father issues? Well, let me tell you some stories.
Right. You're right. I loved it. Yeah. And I loved how
her dad is Deathstroke.
Right. The Deathstroke, the Terminator. I enjoyed just that family aspect, welcome to the family kind of a thing that he got from Damian Wayne. And I was like, okay, this is a different Batman, but still. And I did enjoy how the daughter of Lady Shiva,
Cassandra,
do what?
Isn't that Cassandra?
Yes. As I guess, was she Batgirl, Batwoman, or how did they do that?
I think she was Batgirl.
Remember?
I think she was Batgirl in this.
Yeah, she was on it. I mean, it was great to see her in action too. So the whole Bat family with Batman and the Bat family, we got another unique dynamic. It was almost like the old Bat family transferring or becoming a new Bat family.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good description. It's like Bat family, the next generation.
Yeah, but it also included the best friend relationship between
Damian and Jonathan Kent.
Yeah. And I love that. And I loved it how when all of a sudden, the robots start fighting and then they attack Batman or Damian Wayne.
Yes.
And it just sets off Jonathan Kent as my best friend. It's all over now, you guys.
Yeah, they do seem to have a closer bond than Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne. I mean, Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne have always been portrayed as kind of at odds in the comic books.
Frenemies.
Yeah, frenemies. Exactly. Exactly.
Well stated, Megan. Well stated.
I would never really consider them friends in the comic book. I would consider them more of just close allies.
Tolerating acquaintances. Okay.
Well, it's a little more than that. It's like very close allies because they both have this tremendous respect for each other, but they never really come off friendly to each other,
right?
Personally,
whereas the Super Sides,
right, they're like best friends.
They are. I love it. Right. I absolutely love it. I want more of those stories.
Well, we've got an animated Super Sons movie coming out, and that looks fantastic.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're going to have to review that one.
We're going to do a review, everybody. All right. So let's round out our discussion with the whole aspect of John Constantine. This was by far the best depiction of John Constantine, of going the limits of what needs to be done. That's who he is.
Yes.
You got to do what needs to be done. And having to, I mean, he's got a room in Dr. Fate's place that even Dr. Fate can't see into.
Right. Yeah.
Constantine has a room in Dr. Fate's place that Dr. Fate can't even see. And Dr. Fate's really not happy about it.
Well, yeah. Would you be happy? I mean, the room's basically named after you, and you can't even go into it. So,
right? It's my place. This is my floating castle in the sky kind of a thing. And
why can't I go into it?
Right? Why can't I go to this one room? That's not right. And all. So yeah. So I just it was just good to see his quips back and forth with people. It was total John Constantine, 100%. And I want to tell everybody, all the listeners, if you are curious about John Constantine, about who he is as a character, read the Dead Planet series. So I think we've given you kind of a big picture of all of DCeased, and you can read all of DCeased, but Dead Planet kind of stands on its own because it takes place 5 years after all the other series, the main series and the two offshoots. Well, 3 offshoots technically, but
And John Constantine basically gets the powers of Dr. Fate. He gets the powers of Black Adam. I forget who else.
Well, he gets the powers of Shazam, really, not necessarily Black Adam,
right,
Shazam,
right.
The Fate. He has the crystal ball, so he can see in the future just a few moments. So kind of like Ravager's abilities, but a little bit better, or a little bit more. He has the Sandman cloak.
Yes.
Sucks the souls of bad people, which I loved it. I loved how he appeared over Australia, and then just all these bad souls got sucked up in, all these billionaires and people who've treated other people, dark hearts people, even now the penguin was like.
Now, to any listeners in Australia, this does not reflect our views of you.
Oh, no. Just where all the villains were at in Australia. Right. Good call. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. And so he had that
we
power.
love our listeners down under.
Right. We sure do, by golly. So it was. What else did he have? He had the Spear of Destiny.
Yes. He had the Spear of Destiny. Yes.
And how he had to get it, everybody, you're just like, what is he doing?
He is collecting any kind of mystical thing to give him powers, basically. And he
juice up to fight Trigon.
He pretty much becomes, for a very temporary time, probably the most powerful DC character ever.
Ever.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And, it was he and Jonathan Kent. He could go toe to toe with Jonathan Kent.
Yeah.
Because what you see is I loved it how he took on Trigon. Let me rephrase that. Constantine took on Trigon and did a whole punch and laid out Trigon. And Trigon's like, what just happened? Kind of a thing.
And Trigon's a giant demon.
Right. So I don't want to spoil all of kind of what happens and how it happens in the end, but just what they have to do to take on Trigon and stuff. So it was classic John Constantine and him doing everything he needs to do to survive. Not for him particularly, but for humanity to survive.
Agreed.
And really being the hero.
Yep, I love this one, and I love John Constantine in it. He was so good. It really shows his character, and like I said, I've been a fan of his since I was introduced to him, 3 or 4 years ago, and I can't praise this one enough. It's so good. It's definitely so good. It's a 10.
It is.
It is a 10.
I love it. Yeah, we didn't give it. Well, it's a book, but we have it. I guess we have it.
Well, we did it for the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we didn't do it at the beginning. Excuse me. We didn't. We didn't give our ratings at the beginning. Right. So
I'm giving it a 10 right now. So 10.
Okay.
Spears of Destiny.
Ooh, I like it. I really enjoyed it, and if I had the extra cash, I probably would buy all of Dead Planet because the artwork is good. The cover arts are good and stuff. So I give it 10 out of 10 Spears of Destiny.
I got all 4 trade paperbacks. Love them.
Right on.
Fantastic.
Right on. It's really good. The cover arts, the cover art on each of the covers is fantastic.
Oh yes.
It's fantastic.
In each issue, each of the trade paperbacks, they give. They give extra drawings. They show you some of the individual covers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is neat because if you look at that, check this out. Can you see that? Right.
Yep.
Right there, or not? Right there.
So, what's showing is, different.
I don't know what
covers.
her name is, but she looks like the poster for Shazam for the Shazam movie when it came out. But it's the girl.
But it's the girl.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mary. I think it's Mary.
Mary Marvel.
Mary Marvel, right. So, yeah, it shows her in that. Actually, I couldn't find it in here, but we bought Megan one of the individual comics for Christmas because they did a play on the It poster, but they had Harley in it.
Oh.
And Megan being a big fan of Harley, I bought that for her for Christmas, actually.
I don't remember this.
I did. I specifically got it for you because you're a fan of Harley and you're a fan of It, and I thought it was a perfect mashup.
And it was a comic?
Yes, it was a comic. It was a comic.
Are you sure you gave it to me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I remember that.
Right on.
Wow.
Right on.
Yeah, I can see where my presents rate. Anyway.
All right, everybody. Well, you heard our ratings. If you have not read DCeased, is it worth buying the DC app if you wanted to do the DC app?
Oh, heck yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and not to mention, you can get a lot of other cool things on the DC app. So,
yeah.
I like the DC app a lot. I need to use it more than I do to get my money's worth. But that all has to do with time.
I like it on my tablet better than my phone.
Yeah, I have oh boy, here we go. I'm going to open up a can of worms here. I have a second laptop. I have a Windows laptop that actually folds over and doubles as a tablet.
I'm biting my lip.
I know. I'm opening cans of worms here. But it opens up and I can use it as a tablet, and I do like to read it on that because that's really nice because I can sit there and hold it like a tablet, not have to look at it like a laptop, so on and so forth. So yes, that is one thing that Windows has over Mac. Of course, I could just go buy an iPad.
Right. That was my next thought. But that's all right. It's all good. It's all good.
I like my touchscreen. Awesome.
Well, that's what I'm saying. My other PC laptop is a touchscreen too. So, because like I said, it folds over and it acts like
I have one of them too.
Right. It acts like a laptop. But for the podcast, I prefer my Mac.
That's all right. That's all right. All right. Cool dealioso, everybody. So, DCeased is a great journey, and I can't wait till this other series that just starts in 3 days. It's going to be 8 episodes, so that's going to be what? That's one per month, so 8 months?
8 issues, not episodes.
I did say episodes. I'm sorry.
We do that with the comic books a lot. We get confused.
We sure do, by golly. So 8 issues. So over the next 8 months, we'll come back to this final chapter of DCeased.
And we've discussed covering Marvel Zombies, and it looks like Disney Plus is going to release a Marvel Zombies animated series.
Ooh,
right.
Oh, okay.
Now I will warn you. Our friend Derek from Three Geeky Dads has stated on some of our posts about DCeased that Marvel Zombies does not compare to DCeased.
Okay.
That's his words, not mine. You know,
right.
You know, but Marvel Zombies was several years back. You know,
okay.
They actually had beat DC to the punch on that one. But I'm kind of wondering if DC looked at their series and went, we can make this better.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And I don't know that for a fact. I have not read Marvel Zombies, so I'm not stating that from knowledge. I'm just stating it from hearsay and such. So
we're going to find out for ourselves.
Right, yeah, exactly. I mean, I got to admit, I tend to lean towards DC, especially in comic books, because that's, I prefer DC for the most part. So, yeah, I probably have a little bit of a bias, maybe.
That's all right. That's all right.
Anyway.
That's okay. All right, everybody. Hey, thank you so much for joining us for this fun-filled episode of Two Geeks and a Microphone. We've been going through DCeased. We had a great time. We had all kinds of great jokes along with Etrigan. Hey, thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to check out our website, twogeeksmike.com. Excuse me, I had the hiccups all of a sudden. twogeeksmike.com. That's the number 2. geeksmike.com. Also, from there you can get to all kinds of stuff, but I want to tell you about our Ko-fi page. Our Ko-fi page is like Patreon, but it is where you can support us, and we have 3 tiers: $1, $2, $3 a month. So we do have access to all kinds of different things. We are getting ready to do our next sci-fi episode, which I'm pretty pumped about. Which is watching the Twilight Zone.
Yes, I just watched
the Twilight Zone as compared to the original episodes that it is based on.
Yes.
So fancy dancy. I love it. So I'm looking forward to that. You can do a one-time support for us, but if you support us, you get access to our sci-fi show, some extra little podcasts and behind-the-scenes stuff. And so we hope you join us. You also get access to our whatchamacallit page. All of a sudden, I see the picture of it in my head.
Discord?
It is our server, Discord server. Yep.
I'm a little disappointed that Angie or Megan didn't jump in and say that.
Yeah, start making fun of me for missing it. So sorry, you guys. So you get access to that where we have some stuff there. We're still building that as we're still building our Ko-fi page. And we just want to say thank you for supporting us, and whatever we can do, whatever we can. What's the word I'm trying to say? Whatever we can do to say thank you, really,
yes,
for helping support us. And so there's some different things we got in the works for that. And so that's what we're doing. All that money goes to pay for Mike's Lamborghini and him getting a new PC. So I'm just teasing. I'm just messing with you, man.
I'm not. I don't want the Lamborghini anymore. I want a Batmobile.
Oh, nice. We should say that. That's awesome. So anyway, it just helps us do the podcast and really, so we appreciate you guys listening in and the feedback that we get and the interaction. So thanks for joining us. And with that, Mike, I will let you finish this out.
I just wanted to add, make sure, please go like us on Facebook, like us and follow us on Facebook if you haven't. I try as much as I can to put some funny stuff up there, and if I find some good memes and stuff, you're
doing great.
Thank
you. You are doing great. Yes, I love it. What's funny is I try to like stuff, but then I realize that it's I'm still logged in as two geeks,
and
so that's me, everybody. I'm being goofy. Sorry about that.
That's all right. But yeah, make sure and give us a like or a follow there. Also, if you would, go like us and follow us on YouTube. I'd like to see that built up some more. We don't have a lot of followers on YouTube. Most of our followers on Facebook, and we really appreciate that. We really do.
Yeah.
And most of all, share it with a friend. Share us with a friend, and get them to like and follow us all. We'd very much appreciate that, because it just helps to grow the brand, and that's what we're looking to do.
Yeah, just having a great time,
and we're looking to add some more stuff to our family too, to the Two Geeks family. So hopefully we'll have some more announcements about that later. I don't want to say too much right now, but
but awesome. Sounds good. All right, man. Cool. Well, I'll let you sign us out, my brother.
All right. With that said, shoot, I didn't have a tagline for this one. I don't know. Truth, justice, and the American way. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,